Guys, this is absolutely incredible. This could just be the best thing. Oh God! All right, okay. Enough mumbling. Let's get into it. So, if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail, and probably everyone going on about it already, Jamie Foxx is potentially back as Electro. I absolutely love this, and I'll tell you why. Yes, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 have problems. It did. But this, to me, communicates something much bigger than just Electro. This communicates to me that they're finally listening to the fans. They're finally listening. And I must give a special shout out to Into the Spider-Verse, because I think if it wasn't for Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker and Spider-Ham and Spider-Noir and all those characters, if it wasn't for that movie, I don't think we would have got this. I think this movie showed not just Marvel, but Sony as well, that yes, we want a live-action Spider-Verse. We do know what we want. We're not just saying it because we like Tom Holland, or we like Toby, or we like Andrew. We like all three. For the most part, we all kind of like all three. And seeing all three of them together would just be everything. It would be everything. It really would be. And that's where I feel this is going to go. I think Scarlet Witch, whatever she does in WandaVision, however strange the show is, whatever she does is going to mess up the whole universe, everything. I think it's going to break the universe and rip a hole straight through it. And there was a story months back about Evan Peters being cast in a role. Now, call it coincidence, but it's just coincidence that the fact that Evan Peters, who played Quicksilver in Fox's X-Men movies, is cast in a role around the time that Scarlet Witch is messing with the multiverse, and that requires Doctor Strange. Suspicious? I think not. I think that is exactly where Marvel is going, and I think Sony and them, they're both unanimous, they agree. And it's quite apparent that Venom and Tom Holland's Spider-Man are going to be the poster boys for the Venom universe, which is called Spunk, which is a very strange name, but Spunk is the word, SPUMC, I think. So yeah, that's a thing. But I think they are going to be the spearheads. Venom is going to be the poster boy for Spunk, and Spider-Man is going to be the bridge between that and the MCU. And we've already started to see this. At the end of the Morbius trailer, Morbius was speaking to Vulture, so that's already starting. And I feel like whatever Wanda does, it's going to create a ripple effect that basically cherry picks from each universe. So I feel like they're going to break the universe. Electro's going to come in and join the Sinister Six. They've already got Mysterio, who I don't think is dead. I think it's just an illusion. Quentin Beck's still alive. He's just a master of it. Vulture, they've got Scorpion, they've got Shocker. Now, I think Kraven might be introduced in Spider-Man 3, potentially hunting Peter. And if they bring in Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man movies, then that could also work. Because, a lot of people seem to think Venom might join the Sinister Six, but I don't feel that would be a natural progression for him. I think the route that they've taken with Venom is sort of more of a, anti-hero, good guy, kind of not good guy, but good guy kind of guy protagonist. I don't think he's going to be against Spider-Man. I think what's going to happen is they're going to meet, they're going to duke it out, and eventually they're going to come to the same page. I think Spider-Man and Venom are definitely going to be on the same page and be like the new kind of Cap and Iron Man for that kind of universe. And I saw a great theory, or a great idea that someone tweeted out, and they basically said, what if Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield get together and team up because the Sinister Six is being formed and neither one of them can fight alone? And if you look at the amount of damage that Mysterio by himself did to Tom Holland, or Vulture by himself, or Electro, the amount of damage he did to Andrew Garfield, I think it would make sense. Now, in some comics, or in cartoons, Spider-Man has just been Peter Parker and he's gone up against the Sinister Six and he's beat them. But I think this would probably work better. I would actually believe it a bit more. I'd feel there would be more stakes. And it would also provide a lot of closure for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man that he never got. Gwen Stacy died. He was about to move on and start a new life. And then it just went, pff, nothing happened. Nothing. So I am fully on board with the idea that Andrew Garfield's character, Spider-Man, is basically getting closure from Gwen Stacy's death. Tobey Maguire may be getting his version, maybe getting closure from Harry's death, or how he's moved on from that, how him and Mary Jane are now. And it will be them basically passing on wisdom to Tom Holland. And I think what you'll see is if they do a Spider-Verse movie, they'll do another one, and another one, and another one, and so forth. And then you'll start to see different Spider-Men. You'll see a live-action Miles Morales. You'll see a Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, potentially even Spider-Ham, as weird as that would look in live action. You never know. But I think we are in the age of superheroes right now. And I think if you'd have asked anyone 10 years ago, would you see all these three Spider-Men together? You'd say no. Nowadays, I think all bets are off. I think the fact that Michael Keaton is coming back to play Batman in the Flash film, I think that should tell you everything you need to know about superhero movies going forward. Now, the MCU is in the perfect place because it's tied up the Infinity Saga with a nice little bow. Done. Finished. And as much as I'm going to miss that story and miss those characters, it got its end, it got its closure, and I feel like the MCU... I think what Marvel are going to do, they've already announced that Kang the Conqueror is going to have some involvement in Ant-Man 3. So Kang the Conqueror is with different universes and different, timelines and all that. So he will be the villain potentially against all of that. I think that's the next big thing they're setting up. And, we won't just see Avengers movies anymore. I think we're going to see more than that. We're going to see Young Avengers, where Speed and Wiccan, who are introduced in WandaVision, will be part of that. You're going to see Kate Bishop in that. You're going to see Cassie Lang part of that. And I feel like you could even see Thunderbolts with, potentially Red Hulk, Justin Hammer, all those kinds of people. Abomination, bring him back. And then you could even see Dark Avengers. We already know that Blade is someone that they're going to be doing going forward. So I am excited to see how they incorporate him. And I think Doctor Strange 2 is literally, it's the turning point for the MCU. This movie is going to just ripple everything. And I think what they're going to do is just cherry pick from everything. I think they're going to take probably Quicksilver, take all them sweet montages that you had in the Fox XMen movies, bring them over to the MCU, take Colossus, take Deadpool, take Toby, take Andrew, take Tom Hardy, bring them all in. And I do feel it will be temporary. I feel like it will be nothing more than just a temporary bit of fan service. So I think you will probably see Tobey Maguire go back to his universe, Andrew Garfield go back to his, and possibly Electro going back to his as well. But I think for a foreseeable future, I think Spider-Verse is a possibility. Now, we know that Sony are interested in doing a Silk movie, a Spider-Woman movie, a Silver Sable movie, and a Madam Web movie. Now, Madam Web could be the key to kickstart this Spider-Verse off. So whatever WandaVision does, it brings all the characters in from different universes, and then you get Doctor Strange who comes in and fixes it. And then you get Spider-Man, Tom Holland's version, talking to Madam Web afterwards that the universe has changed. That forevermore, the multiverse is different, everything's changed. And I feel like the direction that they go will definitely shape superhero movies going forward. And I'm just excited to see. I'm also happy that Jamie Foxx is back as Electro. Some would say he's not comic accurate to Electro in terms of his look, his design. But I don't mind that. For me, the Electro design has always been a bit goofy. He's basically a starfish with electricity. I've always liked his comic design, but I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 design, along with that killer soundtrack by Hans Zimmer, was absolutely phenomenal. I thought he looked brilliant, and the best swinging Spider-Man scenes I've ever seen on screen, Amazing Spider-Man 2. If I have to be unbiased, it's the Amazing Spider-Man 2. If you say anything else, I think you're wrong. I genuinely think you're wrong. Now, each Spider-Man movie has great swinging scenes, but I'm talking about ones that really immerse you in it. The Amazing Spider-Man had some great ones. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had some great ones, but I think the Amazing Spider-Man 2 definitely captured the feel of how Spider-Man moves the best, if you know what I mean. And I'd just love to see all three of them together. Now, if Venom wasn't the poster boy for Spunk, then I'd say it would just be Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. But because Venom is the poster boy, I think you'll see all four of them together. And it may not even be against the Sinister Six. It may just be against a threat or a collision of universes. You never know. Whatever route they go, I'm just so happy that Sony and Marvel seem to be on the same page, and Sony have finally got the hint. It doesn't matter what you did with Toby in the past or Andrew in the past. We don't care. We want them back. We want them back. Even if it's just for a swan song, even if it's just for one more ride and that's it. Just seeing all the past, present and future Spider-Men together is amazing. And I don't think you're going to be hard-pressed to find anyone who says otherwise. I don't think anyone is going to say, you know what, I don't want Tobey Maguire to come back. I don't want Andrew Garfield to come back. I don't think so. I think people are going to be open to it. And just seeing them with Tom Holland, it would make us feel better about Tom Holland's take on the character. Because a lot of people call him, you know, they class him as Iron Boy Jr. and all that stuff, because he's basically taken Iron Man's mantle and it's been passed down to him and, you know, what have you. So I feel like this could be a good way to sort of really set up Peter for future stories. And, you know, if a live-action Spider-Verse works, then hey, you could get another one. Now, again, this is all just me fanboying and speculating, but this is just me letting my thoughts out there. And, you know, it's unclear whether Fox's Electro is going to be the same version as the one we saw. But I genuinely feel like he will be a multiverse version. Now, someone I saw did say, well, they brought JK Simmons back to play J Jonah Jameson. It's like, yeah, but the thing is, the reason they brought J Jonah Jameson back, JK Simmons to play J Jonah Jameson, is because he's so iconic. In the Sam Raimi trilogy, he is Jonah Jameson. There's no one else that could play him better. He's perfect. That's why they brought him back. To bring Jamie Foxx's Electro back when he was only in one movie and it was heavily criticized, I think it's multiverse. I don't think it's going to be a different version. I don't think it's going to be a reboot. It's going to be a live action multiverse / Spider-Verse that they're setting up. I genuinely think they are setting that up. And as long as Electro brings that killer score with him, then I'm all good. And hey, you know, if you're a Star Wars fan, then you understand clunky dialogue here and there, you know. So as much Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets a bad rep, you know, it does. The I don't like sand line has nothing on it's my birthday and it's time for me to light my candles. So, you know, every movie has a bit of cheese. You know, what can you do? But I'm excited for this. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Are you skeptical? Do you think this is all full of, you know, horse manure? Or are you actually excited? You know, let me know what your theories are, what your thoughts are on this. It's good to get a dialogue going and a bit of a conversation and a back and forth. I think this is going to be definitely the route that they're going to take going forward. And, you know, major shout out to DC. Major shout out to DC. DC listen to fans. We're getting the Snyder Cut. DC listen to fans. They're trying to get Henry Cavill back. DC listen to fans. Ben Affleck might be coming back. DC listen to fans. Michael Keaton's coming back. DC listen to fans. Jeffrey Dean Morgan might be playing Thomas Wayne. You know, obviously we don't want to have so much control over what decisions they take, because then what's the point of going to pay and see it if you know the outcome and you know what's going to happen. I don't think we're saying that. I think what people are saying is that, look, this is awesome, this is great, we can get behind this, let's do it. And there doesn't even have to be any more Spider-Verse movies. There could just be one, like a one and done. And now if it's successful and it makes money and it makes bank, then obviously there'll be more. But I feel that this will be a good starting point. If you start weaving in elements from other universes, you can really start to play with it. And the great thing about the MCU is it has been consistent up until this point, and they haven't really taken anything for granted. So I don't mind if they make the odd slip up here or there, because I could see them doing that. Because the problem with multiverse is it can get messy, it can get clunky. Just see the Arrowverse and how messy that got eventually. So I could see them doing that. And, you know, it's just, let's be honest, superhero fans, we needed this right now. We haven't really had much to go on this year besides the odd trailer here or there for a movie. But in terms of MCU, we definitely needed this. We needed something like this. And until it's in the trailer or in the movie format, I'm not going to put 100% belief in it. But I genuinely think this is a possibility, and I think we could see this happen. And Tom Holland has been on record many times saying he would love to be with Toby and Andrew in a live-action thing. So you know, he did also have some pull trying to keep Spider-Man within the MCU, so just take that into account. And I think all bets are off. I think we're definitely going into Spider-Verse territory or multiverse, and we'll just have to wait and see for the ride. But until then, you know, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, the conversation starts here, but continues down below. And I will talk to you soon. Make sure you light them candles.